Welcome to the Untitled podcast. I am one of your hosts, Stonewall Craft, alongside my co-host, Lorenzo Rocha. How you doing, my guy?
Doing great. We back.
We back. We tried to do it on Tuesday, didn't work out. Couldn't really do it yesterday, so we're doing it today. And a big week last week in the world of sports. We're going to start off with the mega fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Fury won by a 7th round TKO.
By a landslide.
And kind of crazy because, he dominated the first fight, but it was close. What did you see from Wilder that was this is why he lost for sure?
In the second?
Yeah, in the second one.
In the most recent one? Because that dude was getting dropped.
Was it because he was wearing a 40-pound costume before?
I'm not going to go into the specifics of why or why not. Bottom line, Fury was just dropping him, and his team had to pull him out.
Yeah, and he was
because that dude was going to get hurt. He was pissed.
He shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have been.
I know.
He was on a different planet. The ringside video I showed you of just how loud it was when he hit him.
When he was getting hit, yeah.
Just dropped. I think people forget, you get kind of desensitized because most people watch it on TV, and you can't, you hear it, but you're whatever. But just how hard he's hitting him, wild.
Rocket bombs.
And like I said in the last pod, there's probably going to be a trilogy no matter what. And Deontay Wilder already invoked his rematch clause. So we're going to get another one.
So, a close fight the first time, a lot of people thought Fury won.
Yeah.
Second fight, dude gets blown up. And you won a third fight? You just want to continue to show that you're inferior? Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, well, that's what Fury's like. I'll fight him again.
Yeah,
he knows he's gonna beat him. So I think I told my dad this right after the fight. He looked like he was fighting in somebody's backyard. Deontay Wilder did. I know you've boxed in the backyard. It literally looked like you boxing, wide. The stance gets wide.
It's got to be one of the biggest compliments I've ever gotten. I look like Deontay Wilder.
That you box like Deontay Wilder. That's not good for Deontay Wilder, I tell you that. But yeah, he was just taking bombs. And I know Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight, so I don't even care about the other champion, Anthony Joshua, fighting him. I don't really I'm not man, they need to fight.
No, I'm not either. Because if I'm Anthony Joshua, the fact that I had to redeem myself against
Andy Ruiz
Jr. What?
Yeah, he's literally just a big, chubby Hispanic dude. We can say that because we're Hispanic.
Honestly, that fight looks like I made a custom bat fighter on purpose just to mess with the game.
It's everybody, every Hispanic family has an uncle that looks just like you.
It's true.
So, Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. I feel like everyone knew that, but they didn't want to say it because he wasn't the attractive pick.
He's not, but
because his fighting style, he's just so nimble. He's knocking people out, but he when he won the title against Klitschko, that was a decision. He didn't knock him out. And that was kind of his style for a while.
Yeah.
But
just winning the long fight.
But now that he destroyed Wilder, I just think it shows that he's just levels above everybody else. Alright, so enough of the fight. Let's talk about the good stuff. Last week in the NBA. No, bold underline the good stuff. The NBA last week. So the Bucks are killing everybody in the regular season. They clinched a playoff spot already. They're the fastest team to clinch a playoff spot in the last 15 years. In 56 games. So, I know we kind of talked about it last week. How good do you actually think this Bucks team is? Or do you think it's just a regular season thing?
We talked about it a little bit before. I think it's really tough because you see how great Giannis is. You don't there's no one else on that team like that pops. Chris Middleton's good,
Yeah.
but Eric Bledsoe's good. Brook Lopez is all right.
There's just too much Eric Bledsoe for me to be comfortable.
But yeah, like if any of those guys disappear in the playoffs, like kind of like they did last year against the Raptors, they could be in trouble.
Keep talking. Hey, your mic just cut out. Anyway, while he's fixing his mic, no, I can't hear you. This is a rip. I'll carry the show. Don't worry. The Bucks have a 12.2 point differential. Like that's the average. They win by an average of 12.2. Here's some other teams that had a similar point differential. The 1972 Lakers, who we might talk about later in a few pods. The 1996 Bulls, if you remember correctly, they won 72 games and only lost 10. And then the 17 Warriors with KD, 11.6. So what the Bucks are doing is kind of wild. Roach, how you doing over there? No, don't hear you. Roach, you're choking. Roach, come back. Oh, did something happen? No.
Hello.
There he is. The pod is saved.
I felt like LeBron in Game 5 Mavericks finals. I know I'm great, but I couldn't do it.
But D-Wade just taking the ball up.
All right. Anyways, like I was saying about the Bucks.
Oh, you're still going. Okay, keep going. Okay,
I'm finishing my thought.
Okay.
You see how great Giannis is? He's only gotten better. But is that enough to carry him through the Eastern Conference? Kawhi's not there to stop him, so I say why not?
Why not, baby? They were my pick to be in the finals, but then I watched the All-Star game, and I switched. But I don't know. Who in the East is going to beat him?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
there's some good teams in the East, but no one's
stopping Giannis.
Giannis is up there. No one else is like.
Well, it's kind of interesting because the 4-5 matchup right now is Sixers Heat, and that's probably going to be locked up, and they're in the Bucks bracket. So the winner of that, they don't have they're not playing Detroit in the second round. They're not playing Orlando in the second round. They have to play I think if you get the Sixers in the second round, that's kind of unfortunate.
I think that's going to be your hardest. They match up the best only because of Embiid, but even Embiid is going to. He can't do.
Even Embiid gets cooked by Giannis. Yeah.
No one else has anyone that can do anything against Giannis.
But that's the thing. If you're the 1 seed, you usually just have a cakewalk. Usually the 4-5. That's usually Pacers, Miami. But you got the Sixers, who were the preseason pick to go to the finals by a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, in other news, Bradley Beal is the best player with the worst team. Right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that is true.
Back-to-back 53 and 55, and they lost in both of them. And one of those teams they lost to was the Bulls. So it's not like he's putting that up against the Bucks. He's how bad?
I mean, he did, but
yeah, I'm just what? How do you lose to the Bulls when you drop 53?
Your team. That's it.
I can't even. I'm trying to think of somebody else on the Wizards real quick. Rui Hachimura? Is that really the second best player?
Rookie. Probably that's a rookie.
Is Gortat still on that team?
No, I'm pretty sure Gortat's gone.
Is he alive?
I know he got traded to the Clippers a while ago, but he's probably out.
Marcin, come back.
I loved him.
Yeah, the Wizards are a mess. It's tough. Tough break for Bradley Beal. But hey, you signed that contract.
Hey, I heard he also got drug tested.
Oh.
Those 50-point games.
Well, something had to be up for Bradley Beal to be dropping double nickels like that and losing. And Ben Simmons out indefinitely for the foreseeable future with a bad back.
Good riddance.
How dare you? He's the best player on their team.
Dude, we talked about this. You know he's not.
He is. He could be.
But he's not.
I think his ceiling is higher than Embiid's.
I don't think
Hot
it is.
take?
Okay, it is only because if he can get a jump shot,
Not even.
not even
I don't even
not
think
even a
if he can jump.
no, he needs it. Not even a 3-point shot, just a jump shot.
Do you think
Give him
he's
a little
actually
mid-range
left-handed?
game.
Do you think he's actually left-handed?
I think he's actually middle-handed.
Middle-handed. His left and right just don't
Give
work.
him the granny hooks.
The Rick Barry granny. So he's out indefinitely, which is kind of interesting because earlier this year when Embiid was out, he played really well. So Embiid without Simmons seems to have proved pretty favorable for him because he dropped 49 against the Hawks a few days ago. It's the Hawks. Literally no one can guard him. John Collins is who you're throwing at him. Dwayne Dedman. So I get why he went off, but he was silky. There was a clip of him. He like broke down somebody on the perimeter and he just pulled. Just went.
He do his full body fake.
No, he didn't. That's probably why they threw him off. They were expecting the worst pump fake of all time and actually shot it.
Yeah, I think that's just the biggest problem with the Sixers is their lack of shooting and having your point forward, your point guard Ben Simmons clashing with Embiid like that in terms of their play style. Like it's tough to play with both of them on the floor. And when I get it, Embiid's your big. Just feed him the ball. He should still be scoring more. He should still be playing better than what he's been with Simmons.
Yeah.
But I think it just frees him up with Simmons not being there.
Yeah, because the 8 games where Embiid wasn't there for Simmons played really well, and if they have to break them up, I was saying like if you're gonna look at those 8 games, look at how you kind of unlocked Ben Simmons just because you didn't have somebody there. But now that Embiid dropped 50 without Simmons there, that kind of part of the argument too, Simmons over Embiid, I was like, Simmons doesn't get hurt.
That's true.
But now he's hurt. So that's why you can't. That's why you shouldn't say outlandish things in the NBA because it's just stuff happens all the time. People get hurt all the time. So last Sunday, classic Lakers Celtics game. The Lakers ended up winning 114-112, but it was a playoff game atmosphere. What did you take away from the Lakers in this past week? 'Cause they had that game last night, not 2 nights ago, against Zion and the Pelicans.
Yeah.
What did you see in those kind of playoff-like atmospheres that reassures you and kind of like makes you skittish on them?
Well, I saw LeBron being LeBron. He went off both games.
41. Wait, no. Tatum had 41. He had 40 against Zion.
The Pelicans. Yeah. Still played really well in both games. He's so consistent. You know you can rely on him. Clutched up a little bit at the end of that Celtics game, didn't he?
Kind of. He missed a big free throw, but he made up for it by backing down Jaylen Brown.
Yes. I mean, you win some, you lose some. At the end of the day, he got it done.
Got the dub. The victory royale, some say.
You saw the versatility they got with Anthony Davis, too.
And he didn't even play well. In those, even the Pelicans game, he didn't play well.
It just reinforced, like, a lot of people like to say, oh, the Lakers need this player, the Lakers need this type of player, but they are still a deep team.
Yeah, they're the best in the Western Conference for a reason.
Yes. And that just goes to show, even Zion drops, what was it, like 30-some in that game? 29?
He dropped 29, yeah.
Yeah. You know, even if they're playing a quality opponent, I don't know if you consider the Pelicans quality, but the Celtics are.
That could be the 1-8, but I think down the stretch it showed why the Lakers would sweep them too, because they just have too much talent. Is it too much Caruso or not enough, in your opinion?
Well, you know, I thought it wasn't enough, or I thought it was too much, but then I saw a clip of him nudity block.
Lonzo
bust. I saw Caruso God block Lonzo bust, and I was like, okay.
It's crazy because if Lonzo was on this team, he would just be playing the Caruso role.
You're an idiot. He wouldn't be playing at all.
What? Stop.
There's a reason people call him Lonzo bust.
You're the only person that calls him that, actually. Name one other person that calls him that. Callie?
Yeah. I've heard her whisper it.
I think Kelly's dead over there.
I think she got knocked out by that plant hang.
So I'm still big on Lonzo, just by the way. But he'd be playing the Caruso role. But you don't have to pay Caruso $10 million a year for him to do that. And he's got hops. He's just Caruso. Is he like the best ugly player in the league?
Whoa! Don't talk bad about his looks, my guy. We're not in that business. All we care about is results.
You're not in the business of looks?
No.
You watch The Bachelor every Monday. That's all that is.
Expose me.
We're actually going to make this a Bachelor-centric pod now.
I'm down. I could talk about The Bachelor all day.
I'm not down. Okay. So that's basically wrapping up the week. A little rapid fire. We had a little game thing going here. We're going to do the 2/3 year NBA awards.
To dab.
Should we start with MVP or should we work to MVP?
Let's pretty much. So we'll start from the bottom up with the individuals, and then we'll do.
Yeah.
Our team.
I agree. All right. Most improved player, Roach, you got?
Unequivocally, Jason Tatum.
So do we dock points because he has the worst tattoo in the league?
Yes, I would say at least one vote doesn't count that gets casted for that tattoo. Can't give him too much.
What are you doing?
Crap. I'm looking for something.
Why? You just got up. I know you guys can't see Roach right now, but he just got up and he's walking around with his laptop in his hand. What are you getting?
Needed a drink.
A drink, okay. What are you drinking? Water?
Pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade, okay. So Jason Tatum, do you think? So you think he's made a big enough jump from last year to this year?
Yes, because the narrative last year was that whole Kyrie situation, and also that Brown and Tatum weren't playing up to the level they had the year before. So his rookie season, he played pretty well. But he averaged, 30 points this past month? The month of February?
I don't remember what it was. It was like 30, his last 5 games were like 38, 41, 33,
that
35.
Going in.
He is.
He's easily the most improved player in the league to me.
So, I actually think Brandon Ingram's going to win. This is my pick. I think he's going to... So, we're kind of doing this like, who do you think's going to win? And who do we think should win? Because there's a difference there. Because these awards are just all narrative based. Like, I think Tatum surging right now, that's going to be a great narrative for him to win Most Improved. But I think Brandon Ingram's like early season without Zion just like took over so fast, and he was I guess so was Tatum. But I think his year 2 jump to year 3 was bigger than Tatum's because I feel like Tatum right now is playing a little better than his rookie year. You know what I mean?
A little better
than his rookie year.
Yes.
His rookie year, he was the best player of an Eastern Conference Finals team. His second year, he slumped. That's what I'm saying. Do you not agree?
I don't agree.
Okay. But I just think his jump from his rookie year to now isn't like.
I just think you also
crazy.
look at the team now with Zion coming back. He's taking a lot of that attention away from Bi.
Yeah.
Bo, whatever you want to call him.
Bo.
And Tatum's just on a more successful team.
I agree. But I think who should win this award is Luka freaking Doncic.
That dude's just so good.
He was great last year. He's even better. But I think people are like...
I think he'd be in the MVP conversation.
That's what I'm saying. I think people are just going to jump to him being MVP.
They're already taking him for granted.
That's what I'm saying. They're already jumping him to MVP. That he's just skipping over the fact that he was 19 last year.
He should have been an All-Star last year too.
Who got in ahead of him?
I don't know.
Jimmy? Was it Jimmy?
Russell Westbrook.
Stop, dude. I'm going to cry. So I think Luka should win, but I don't think anyone's talking about him. Another name I saw thrown around was like Devontae Graham from the Hornets. He's just putting up stats on a bad team.
Yeah, no. I'd say Tatum. I could see Brandon Ingram, I guess, but I'd say if you want to go Luka, I get that. That's a big jump. That's a huge jump going from a borderline all-star player to MVP level performance.
Yeah, to one of the four most important players in the league.
That's a huge jump in 1 year.
And he's averaging almost a triple-double. He's averaging like 29, 8, and 9.
But people just are going to take him for granted, kind of like it took Dirk for granted.
Wow.
It's that
parallels. So, and I saw also Spencer Dinwiddie floating around, which I think is insane.
Just stop.
Is this ludicrous though? Siakam to win back-to-back? Can you do that?
You know,
because he is he's so much better than he was last year. But I feel like you can only win the most improved once.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of candidates.
All right, 6th man of the year, Roach, you got.
So I had to think about this one for a little bit because I've been watching the NBA as much as I have in years past. Don't know depth of all these rosters as much, but one guy we kind of talked about is Dennis Schroeder.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing a really good 6-man role for those Oklahoma City Thunder, and they're making a playoff push. They're the 6th seed right now?
Yeah, they're the 6th seed.
Yeah, so I think that's success, and also what he's doing on the court just translates to 6th man of the year.
I'm not disagreeing. I think that's a good pick. I think Lou Will's probably going to win again. Boring, but I think he's going to win.
Can he win 6th man of the year 2 years in a row?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's won 3 of the last 5 or something like that. I think he should be disqualified.
We get it. He's a good 6th man. Give it to someone else.
Yeah. Like, you can get fatigued for the MVP.
I get your 6th man. Now step up.
I feel like you shouldn't be locked in 6th man. This one I put down just for fun. You know, just to think about it. Dwight Howard.
I like that one too. Just call me biased. Call me a LeBron lover, but I follow the Lakers now. It's my guy.
Caruso and Dwight.
I'm always down for another Lakers player.
Caruso and Dwight, the 2nd best pick and roll in the league, to LeBron and Davis.
3rd.
Who's number 2?
Probably Murray and Jokic.
I love it. You mean it would be Jokic and Murray because Jokic is the one handling the ball?
No. No.
I love Jokic so much. All right, Depoy, who you got, Roach?
AD.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Enough said. He's a -6, like 655 favorite in Vegas to win the Defensive Player of the Year.
Enough said.
So I actually put that I think Gobert might win it again. 3 years in a row. But I think who should win it is Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He barely. So have you seen this thing floating around on Twitter? It's like James Harden has he only has 2 less blocks than Giannis, on the year.
No, I did not see that.
It's kind of wild. But Giannis just literally is guarding everybody. I don't know.
Giannis orchestrates that whole team. I feel like Giannis's hands are so big, he probably controls everybody with one finger.
The puppet master in the middle, just. Yeah, I think AD is probably going to win it just because he's such a big favorite. And you kind of have to campaign for these awards.
Yeah, it comes with the territory. He's in LA playing for the #1 seed in the West. You're playing with LeBron, attention's on him.
Yeah.
Also just playing amazing defense, anchoring that Lakers defense. I don't know what their rank is, off the top of your dome.
I don't. They're top 10 at least.
Yeah, easily top 10. If not top 5.
Top 5. Alright, Roach, who's your MVP?
Alright. We kind of broke this down the other day. Who I think will win MVP? Giannis.
I agree.
Best record in the league. Got better. Lost. What's his face? Malcolm Brogdon.
You can hear that.
Lost Malcolm Brogdon.
Mhm.
And just as good, if not better, this year. So why not? Look, why not again?
Why not? Speaking of Malcolm Brogdon, I don't know why this popped up in my head. Did you see Kyle Lowry try to go under George Hill when the Raptors played the Bucks? Bucks won that game, by the way. They were losing by like 2 at halftime, and the Raptors were playing out of their mind. So that's telling. But it's fourth quarter. George Hill's guarding him. He's like in triple threat. Kyle Lowry just go under George Hill, and he just like plows him over. They call an offensive foul. Kyle Lowry's just like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I might have seen that actually.
Kyle Lowry is becoming so annoying. And Nick Nurse was just like, "What are you talking about?"
Don't hate him because you ain't him.
Dude, you put your head down and tried to go in the dude's crotch.
Hey, you do anything to choke in the playoffs like he does. I'm just saying.
Came up big last year, though. All right, we got sidetracked there for a second. So, who do you think should win?
You know, I kind of hate myself. It's LeBron.
Is it?
It is.
Give me the argument.
Give you the rundown.
Yeah.
All right. Best team in the West. Loaded West.
So, are you saying like their record is just as good as the Bucks, but the Bucks play in the East, so they play easier teams?
I mean, you can say that if you want. I'm not really arguing that so much as he's playing against better competition.
Yeah.
Still the number 1 seed. I don't really care what the record is. Still the number 1 seed. And then if you look at all the players they brought in this summer, pretty much overhauled that whole roster to bring them together in 1 year to be that good. That's something only LeBron can do.
And I think, honestly, for getting Dwight Howard into check, I think that should be something.
Getting him to accept a role.
Yeah.
Everyone on that team knows their role.
Yeah, that's why, like, they didn't make moves really at the trade deadline, and people were, like, mad. I was like, they know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, everyone knows. Like, people were saying trade Danny Green and this and this and this for Marcus Morris. I think he's untouchable.
Yeah, I love Danny Green.
Danny Green's gonna hit
exactly what they need. That's a perfect player for LeBron.
He's gonna hit a big shot in the playoffs. Mark this down. What's the date?
He's gonna lock Kawhi up and block him to win the Western Conference Finals.
No.
I thought you were gonna agree with me there.
I don't agree with you there. So,
all right, he's gonna lock PG up and block him to win the Western Conference Finals.
MVPG. You remember that? Wow.
No, I
nice.
don't. I remember
first round bounce.
I remember that's a bad shot, PG.
Okay. All right. So I think Giannis is going to win the MVP. I also think he should win the MVP. No, he's just so dominant. Kelly, what are you doing? I think your dog has glaucoma.
I don't know what that is, but
yeah, I think Giannis should win. I think he will win. Let's just kind of go through the other MVP candidates, right? So there's Luka, LeBron, Dame.
I wouldn't put Dame as an MVP candidate. That team's not good.
Dame.
Stop.
So who are the MVP candidates?
Those 4.
There's 5. I think there goes to a top 3 at the end, but I think there's like 5 that they like.
Okay, if I want to throw a 5th one in there, I'll put Jokic. Give him some respect.
I love it. You know I love me some Jokic.
Huge Jokic fan.
So, as well, we're going to do the all NBA teams. Roach, you hit me with your first team all NBA.
Go?
Yeah, hit it.
All right. So I'm going to preface this by saying picking additional like they do now.
Then we're not picking what?
A traditional center. We're not forcing ourselves to have a true center on every team. We have a flex, which could be a center, could be a forward. Forward that plays a center basically. Mm-hmm. But we're not limiting ourselves in that manner. So first team, the guard spots got Harden and Luka. Harden's also a fringe MVP candidate, honestly.
He's averaging like 35.
Yeah, come on.
That's pretty good.
The 2 forward spots. Funny story. I had LeBron and Kawhi. Completely forgot Giannis existed for a second. Instantly scratched out Kawhi's name and put Giannis.
Well, he's like, what do you think of this? I was like, you didn't put Giannis.
I was like, oh yeah. Bye, Kawhi. And then I do think Jokic deserves to be in there, number 1, at our flex.
Yeah, so we prefaced all this, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. Mine's a little different. Just a little. So I had Harden, Luka, Giannis, LeBron as well. But in the flex, I put Davis instead. But the more we're talking, the more I think I'd put Jokic, but I already wrote it down. My vote's already in. It's already submitted.
Submitted. Once you
I can't do anything. But Davis is insane. He's the best player LeBron's ever played with in his prime. Like, I get D-Wade is probably the best player he's played with, like, legacy-wise.
In terms of legacy, yeah. But
he's getting AD in his prime.
D-Wade was coming out of his prime.
Like, the first 2 years of Miami, especially the first one, D-Wade and LeBron were, like, kind of equal on that team. Yeah. But then D-Wade kept getting hurt. You know, the whole thing. So, your second team.
Second team is where the guards get really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Very weak guard class this year, but I went with Simmons and Lillard at the 2 guard spots. As much as I like to talk about Simmons and how he's not good, he's actually good.
How he's not a guard.
I'm just joking with you guys. He's actually good. And then I had to push Kawhi to second team just because of Giannis. And I think Jimmy Butler deserves to be there as forward too. That Heat team is playing really well. He's a big part of it, and he's playing well too. And then threw Davis in there as a flex. He was my fringe one, but I think Jokic is just doing more for his team, so that's why he pushed to the second.
He has the benefit of being the best player on his team,
right?
And everything runs through him. So yeah, I agree. So. First guard, I had Damian Lillard. Second guard, Chris Paul.
Kind of a hot take.
I don't think it is. Like I said, All-Star Game crunch time, very telling. Chris Paul was there and belonged there. And that Thunder team, he's leading that Thunder team. That team is so weird, and I love it.
It's so weird that they're actually playing well.
Well, you know why they're playing well? Because Chris Paul's basically showing everyone the big middle finger.
You sure it's not because of
Danilo? I knew you were going to say Danilo. I love Danilo.
He's bad.
He's not. Well, I don't know why you think Danilo Gallinari is bad.
I think it's because I tried to play with him in 2K a couple times, and when he's on the Nuggets.
That was a long time ago.
Well, you suck on 2K, you suck in NBA in real life too.
Dude, I remember. I'll never forget this. I dropped like 50 with Jay Crowder one time when he was like a 60-some overall in 2K against my dad. Oh, Stoney was so mad.
Xavier used to love being the Celtics and play with Jay Crowder. He also liked playing with Chris Copeland on the
Pacers.
Remember him?
He had like dreads, right?
Yeah.
He had like blonde dreads.
Story came out that he got stabbed, and me and Xavier thought it was so funny.
What is wrong with you? Oh my gosh. Hey, Callie, we might have to cut that out. Cut that out after this, okay? Callie's our producer, by the way, in case you're wondering. If you hear echoes, it's because of Callie. Because she doesn't know how to do any of this. Okay. So CP3 hot take. And then I have Kawhi Siakam. I have Siakam at the 4. Because honestly, the fact that the Raptors have won that many games is wild. They lost arguably the best player in the world in Kawhi. And they're
arguably
they have a better record. That's why I use the adverb arguably.
You know, I don't think it's that big of a shot because they played really well without him last year.
Yeah, so I think the thing with that is like when you're in the grind of a regular season and you don't have somebody there, there's still like institutional like success. And I just think like the fact that they like carried it over, like Kawhi's on the bench, you know what I mean? Like this isn't your team. Yeah. You're just trying to like overachieve. But Fred VanVleet, oh my gosh, I love watching him play.
What a step up that man's played since he's had his children.
Hey, add him into the most improved. What do you think? No? Callie's asleep at the wheel, not even caring about the pod.
I didn't. Never mind. It's too inappropriate for the pod.
Alright, fair enough. And then for the flex, I had Jokic. He's one of my favorite players to watch in the league. He's just so good.
I'm just kidding. I gotta tell the story.
Oh, you were literally looking at me blankly, and I'm like, he's not listening to what I'm saying.
I was.
Alright, what's your story?
I took her to go out to the bathroom.
Yeah.
She squatted, she had to
like a dog
do number
does.
2. Had to do number 2. Stonewall makes fun of her the way she does number 2.
It looks like she's unloading a dump truck.
She literally was sitting there for 2 minutes and did nothing, and then was ready to come inside.
It took all out of her. She's drained. It's like it's Star Wars.
I was like, I broke my dog.
It's like in Star Wars when they use the Force so much that they just evaporate. Callie was on the fringe.
I'm glad she's still here.
She's so derpy. Alright. Third team. What do you got?
Alright. The guard spots, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker. Devin Booker slept on. Just because he plays for a bad Suns team.
Are they bad? Are they bad? I think they're good. They're just in the West. Like those. Okay, there's elite teams. There's like great teams like the Thunder, and there's frisky teams like the Grizzlies.
I don't know if
the
I'd call
Suns.
Thunder a great team.
Okay, fine, good. Is that better? Is that a better adjective for you? Yes. Elite, good, and frisky.
I mean, yeah, the Suns definitely aren't
They're not the Warriors.
Worst team in the West.
They're not the Stephless Warriors.
But they're not good.
Okay, that's fine.
Put them in the East.
They're the 6th seed.
Yeah, and that's not good.
The Magic are the 8th seed in the East. Just something to think about.
Take my eyes off my phone for 1 second. This is what pops up.
It's a picture of Melo, literally cheesing. What?
Looks like a murderer.
Oh, so if there was a comeback player of the year, does Dwight win it or Carmelo?
Melo.
I agree. Oh,
dude was out of the league last year. For what reason?
For not wanting to adjust to a role. And hey, he went to a team that was starting Mario Hezonja, so did he really adjust?
No.
Alright, 13.
I digress.
You're at Booker.
My forwards. Tatum, Siakam. The 2 guys we brought up are most improved. Throw them on the 3rd team.
Why not?
They're that good. They're that good.
I agree.
And then at the flex, I'm going to go with the second best big man in the league, Embiid.
Second to Jokic?
Yes.
Is Davis a big man? Or are you talking about just 5s?
True 5s.
Okay. I agree. So for the guard, I had Ben Simmons. I stared at the second guard spot for like 10 minutes. I don't know who to put. I ended up putting my dog's namesake, Kemba Walker. He's going into the All-Star break. He was the best player on that team, and he's just so consistent. I just love Kemba. I just love him. That's why my dog's named after him. And then for the forwards, I had Tatum. It's about to be a hot take. The next forward. Do you know on my list? Do you have it open?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Sabonis.
Sabone God.
Just that Pacers team would be nothing without him. So the talk last year was Sabonis or Turner. Like they can't play together. What are you gonna do? So they just took away some of Turner's minutes and were like, let Sabonis go crazy.
Let Sabonis rise from the ash.
Let Sabonis cook. They won the Paul George trade, right?
The Thunder?
No, the Pacers.
No, the Thunder.
What?
We talked about this. The Thunder won the.
Why?
Everything they got back.
Oh, okay, yeah. The finality at the end.
Big picture, yes. But you mean that trade?
Yeah, that
yes.
Trade in a vacuum.
Yes, they did win.
Okay. And then for the flex, I have Embiid. second best big man in the league. He could be so much better if he just got over trying to be a perimeter player. I get he cooked the other day, but he lives in the paint and he just doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to bang down low.
If he would just play where he's supposed to, or where he would be most dominant, and then you add the addition of being able to play out on the wing as like something that you can adjust with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
dude,
like, he's trying to be like Chris Bosh with the Heat. Like, oh, you want to be the guy that disappears, that can disappear? If you're in the paint, you're never disappearing. You're only shooting 2 footers. I just bang down low Embiid. Let's unlock Embiid.
He'd average 40 a night. Hot take.
The next Wilt, 40 and 50.
He'd average 40 between ACL tears.
Wow. All right, so that was our 2/3 awards. So next, what I want to talk about is...
Stop.
What?
Stop.
What? You want me to talk about it?
It's tough.
Yeah, the Kobe celebration of life that was on Monday. It was just wild because I felt I reached a point where I was like, not over it, but like, you know, I was used to it.
Yeah.
But then like a month later, they have the celebration of life, and everything was just handled beautifully. Like, they had Jimmy Kimmel hosting it, which I thought was crazy. Just, I don't know. Everybody was there. LeBron was there. People are saying he wasn't because they didn't show him on TV, but he definitely was. And I thought the biggest thing was the Jordan speech. Why do you think the Jordan speech resonated with so many people?
Well, I didn't actually watch it, but just speaking, you know.
Yeah.
I get it. He's talking about Kobe.
Yeah.
Just many people consider the greatest basketball player of all time, most accomplished player of all time.
Mm-hmm.
To talk like that about Kobe and what he meant to not only basketball, but just people around the world and to the league itself and everything, its fans. Just like, it just shows it was so real, you know, for Jordan to be able to recognize that and talk about those things.
So I talk a lot about how like Jordan's kind of mythicized like in our culture, especially like fans of the NBA that are older, like 15 years older than us, you know. But him being there was like crazy. I was like, dang, you don't see Jordan a lot. Like, I was surprised he was there, and he just like he joked about the Jordan crying meme. I thought that was so wholesome. And then when Vanessa Bryant like had her powerful speech, he like helped her off the stage, and like it's just wild, dude. Just how much this like tragedy has affected so many people. Like, I knew it was gonna be big, like when I heard about it, because like I was at work and everyone's texting me like,
yeah,
Kobe Bryant passed.
I didn't think it was. There's no way it was real.
I didn't think it was real either, but like I was like, that's wild. That's like all I could think about for a week. Like, if I was on the bus, I was like, dang, Kobe Bryant passed away.
So I downloaded TikTok recently, as you know.
Yeah.
To be determined whether or not that was a good decision, but I saw this one, and it was "See You Again" was playing by, you know, Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth, or whatever his name is, and it was Kobe lifting up Gianna when she was like a toddler, so basically shoot a shot.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that just
damn, like
that hit so hard.
Yeah, the best, like, so when he retired, there was this you know that 7 year song. There was like, you know how it builds like towards the end, like soon I'll be 60 years old.
Yeah.
And when that the beat kind of drops, I guess is what you'd call it, and something like that, and it just showed all of Kobe's like highlights, and it was like soon I'll be 60 years old, and like when I watched it, I was like, dang, he's gonna be like old one day, and like how Bill Russell is, like,
Yeah, that'd have been.
because he was gonna be more involved in everything. Like, I know everyone's talked about the Kobe tragedy, but I just think it's important to touch on. Like, we were talking about even talking about it because everyone was talking about it, you know. But it's just such a big deal, and to not talk about it is just like not talking about like Callie sitting over there, like she's in. I see her, like it's in the room. You gotta talk about it.
It's like it's like the elephant. Callie, you're basically an elephant. That's what we're trying to say.
As big as an elephant. And then Shaq's speech was great. The choke job of the century. ESPN's feed cuts out in the middle of the Shaq speech.
Oh no!
They cut to the Sports Center like, "Oh, we're having technical difficulties." Like, what? This is the one person everyone wanted to hear from because their careers are going to be intertwined forever. Like when you talk about Jerry West, you're going to talk about Bill Russell because he kept losing to him. But like, they were teammates. They were our top 15 players all time. They were on the same team. Like, it was just. And then he's like, "I'm going to teach your daughters like all your moves, but I'm not going to teach them how to shoot free throws." And Vanessa Bryant said something that was crazy. It was like God knew that Kobe Bryant and like Gianna were inseparable, so they left us at the same time. And I was like, what is she going through? You know?
Yeah.
So, super somber tone. We're gonna transition into the Hall of Fame part. I don't know if you reoccurring listener. You know, we're doing this Hall of Fame that we're adding at the end of every podcast.
One inductee every pod.
Exclusive.
Some may call it the Slick Daddy Club.
No one's calling
Reincarnate.
it that. All right, so our inductee, I think, is appropriate. Kobe Bryant. Last week we inducted Jordan. We ought to put Kobe Bryant in for his legacy, and not just this tragedy, of course, like has highlighted Kobe, but he also was the second best version of Jordan we'll ever see. Like LeBron doesn't play like Jordan. No one plays like Jordan, but Kobe played exactly like him. Just some accolades: 5-time NBA champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 2-time Finals MVP, won the the league MVP in 2008, 15-time All-NBA, 12-time All-Defense, the 4th all-time leading scorer, and his numbers 8 and 24 retired in the Staples Center. Roach, what's your favorite Kobe moment? I know you didn't get to watch him in his prime. You weren't really in the NBA until like LeBron started dominating the finals. What's your favorite Kobe moment?
That's pretty sad that I didn't get to see.
Say it again.
It's pretty sad that I didn't get to see Kobe in his prime.
Yeah, I mean, even I didn't get to see like all. I saw the tail end, you know. So
yeah. But anyways, this is a self-made moment. Playing 2K with my brother on the blacktop.
Oh, the blacktop.
Yes.
I used to grind the blacktop.
On the blacktop, 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s. Froby. I discovered Froby.
2001.
I think it was from 2000, 2001. And that dude was just a monster. he hit every shot on the he could drive in and dunk
over everybody. Dunk on dunkers, some say.
And so one of my favorite lineups was a 2v2 Froby and young LeBron. Unstoppable.
Oh, like 2009 LeBron? Or like 2011
yeah.
Heat?
No, like 2009 LeBron. Like
so good.
Early Cavs LeBron.
So it's funny you bring that up because the year before that was his Olympics. And that's one of my favorite moments, the gold medal game in 2008. Everyone's just kind of like looking around at one point because the Gasol brothers, Ricky Rubio, are just taking it to the U.S. And they're just like, what's going on? Melo doesn't show up. LeBron's like not ready yet. D Wade, he'd won a finals, but everyone's just kind of looking around, and just Kobe takes over. And if you look at their defensive numbers, the next year they all got significantly better on defense. And I just think like how how much like the core people we watch today or like 3 years ago were so influenced by Kobe is pretty remarkable because they love Jordan. Jordan's all their favorite players, but the embodiment of everything Jordan like stood for and even took it to the next level was right in front of him and led him to a gold medal. So that's my favorite moment, the gold medal game 2008 when he just takes over. What's your other one?
Something I actually watched was the 60-point game in his send-off at the end of that season. What was it, the 2017 season?
2016, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty special to watch. He put up a lot of shots, but he made a lot of shots.
Yeah, he was pretty cold in the first half. He shot more in that game than the 81-point game.
It's just such a perfect way for him to go out, like scoring like that. It's just perfect.
I remember he said like in the post game, he's like, "Wait, this whole Mamba out thing." He was like, "My whole career, everyone's like, pass the damn ball," but like tonight, everyone was like, "Nah, you got it. Like, don't. Why are you passing me the ball?" And he gave us all that last night. Like, it was so good. He was so gassed. Like they called a timeout with like 30 seconds left. They cut to him on the bench. He's just like huffing and puffing, dude. Like
I haven't played like that since 2010.
So yeah, great moment. My next one is NBA Finals Game 7, 2010. What's kind of ironic is he kind of disappears a little bit in that game. Pau Gasol basically won them that game, but just the moments at the end when like Kobe had to take a step back to win because he wasn't hot, you know. Like Gasol's the one that's playing well. Like he gives Sasha Vujacic the ball to shoot the last 2 free throws because he's the best free throw shooter on the team. It just showed like Kobe was so hard on those people because like he believed. Like of course Kobe didn't pass. Like the years in between Shaq and Gasol are pretty dark, but that like kind of led him to be the Black Mamba. Like, you know, like everyone's bought in. Those teams right now, I don't know how those teams won titles. You know what I mean?
Looking back on it,
yeah. Like I don't know how Shannon Brown's playing big minutes in Game 7. Sasha Vujacic is playing big minutes
against the Celtics. Big 3. What?
Yeah. Well, it was a big 4. Like Rondo was the best player out of all of them. So, and then just at the end, he gets in the scorers table. He kind of knows like this might be it. Yeah, and he's just like losing his mind. It was so good, and that put him one ahead of Shaq.
I love it.
So I think that's about it. You got anything else over there?
No, I don't think so. It's been pretty emotional actually. Like just I don't know if I started to tear up a tiny bit. I don't know if it's from this.
The heat. It is pretty hot in here.
It is pretty hot, but it's just crazy. Like we watched him on Good Mythical Morning. You know.
Oh, that was wild.
He was just doing all sorts of things outside of basketball and doing a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and they showed
removed from basketball, just him as a person. Like,
yeah, I think and it's crazy. I think he understood the narrative around him was like this dude's like just a jackass. Like no one likes him, and then he's like, okay, let's do some sit downs. Let me write children's books and go on these interview shows and show you like I'm just a person, you know.
Yeah.
And Jordan kind of like after like he just lets that be the narrative for him. He doesn't care what everyone else thinks. But Kobe like understood like in 50 years when they look back, I don't want them to be like, oh, Kobe scored this many points, but kind of like how Karl Malone's going to be like, oh, he scored a lot of points, but you know, at what cost? You know.
Yeah.
And you know, Kobe was the first one to remind everyone that he had five rings. So yeah. So I think that's it. And we have a little teaser. We're gonna. I'm not saying when, but a lot of it's done. An oral history podcast that I think it'll be an addition to these like
to the
weeklies, like just whenever we do them.
Yeah,
because they take a long time. So should I say what we're doing?
Nah, leave it a surprise.
All right, we're gonna do an olden game, and I worked pretty hard on it, so you guys better be grateful. All right, so it's fun to do. That's the reason we do this, because it's fun. We don't care really about.
Really, I do it for the money.
Oh, really? For the beat sponsorships? For the Asteroid 10 sponsorships? All right, so that's enough for this week. We'll see you next week. We'll try to do it earlier in the week, and we're gonna try to roll out that second secret pod.
Sometime in the next year.
Sometime in the next year.
Yeah.
Maybe not next week. Maybe not in a month. Maybe in December.
Maybe.
All right. See you guys next week.